So a major financial institution just took all our money. So I'm sitting here reflecting on my retirement plan here. Looks like I got a spot getting ready to fall over. What happens is as the ground freezes and thaws, it lifts the wood pile up and down. It knocks it over. Happened a lot last year too. So I had to restack one spot already. So I want to do that so the ground doesn't get the wood wet and just rot it. So, but I got to take care of my financial security here. I've talked about this a lot. You know, these kind of things that happen in life don't bother me. As I've told you, I'm debt free. We have no bills. The bill we have is our insurance for the truck. I have to pay taxes every quarter because I'm self-employed. That's my biggest bill, is taxes. I work to pay taxes primarily. I've talked about this before in a video. Not a lot of people understand what I'm trying to tell them, so they always call me a liar. I guess that's what happens. You just don't understand it, so instead of saying, well, I don't understand it, they're lying. But a large portion of my income goes to taxes, income taxes. The property is $43 a year. Not much money there. I can sell enough eggs to try to figure out how to rake up that much cash. So any money I make kind of gets invested primarily into savings. I try to spread it out over multiple areas, banks and institutions, just in case something happens. So I've talked a lot about this though. I mean, if you think about this is a huge financial investment for me, considering we have no bills. A lot of people will say I have no life, but this is what we do. This is what makes us happy. This makes me rich. So a lot of people invest cash. It's all about cash, the value of the dollar, and how to make more money and how to save. Well, no, nobody saves money. Most people live on credit and debt, and it's terrible. You're always in debt to somebody. I always tell somebody, sell your house now, get whatever equity you can out of it right now, and find yourself a piece of property like this for $4,200. It can be done. I know it can be done. I've said it in dozens and hundreds of videos. So it can be done. Carolyn still finds property now. Build yourself a little tiny house or get yourself a shed from Home Depot, someplace that'll allow you to do that. Get yourself some chickens and live life happy and content and stress-free, minimalistic life. You know, possessions cause stress. The more possessions you have, the more money it costs to maintain them, the more money you have to make. You know, fancier cars and fancier homes and fancier and better and bigger and more. So just reduce your life and you don't even have to have a real job. I've said before, if it wasn't for the truck, again, the truck's paid for, but you got to put gas in, you got to maintain insurance. If it wasn't for the truck, I don't think I would work. I mean, I would sell some eggs so I could pay the property taxes, the $43 a year. Then I wouldn't have to pay income taxes. So the only downside of that is if I ever wanted to collect Social Security, so the Social Security check would be smaller because I'm not paying as much into it. But I paid a lot into Social Security my entire life. Carolyn has too. So we'd still get something out of it, assuming it's there. See, there's another institution right there. It just occurred to me. We are forced to put money into. It's our money. We put money into it, and then they take money out of it. They literally, I think in like, I don't know, 2014 or 2010 or somewhere around there, they wrote IOUs to Social Security. The government did. They took money away, our money, and wrote IOUs. They can't afford to pay it back. So at some point it's going to go bankrupt, and it's just going to be another tax. They're just going to have taxed us. And of course it's completely illegal and unconstitutional because Congress didn't pass a tax to do that. Nothing you're going to do about it. Nobody's going to go to jail for it. They're just going to steal your money. And it happens all the time. I mean, I don't think that many people went to jail in 2008 financial collapse. They were ripping people off left and right. Governments were involved. There were congressmen who were supporting this home equity loans things, and it was crazy. I mean, there's whole documentaries on it. I'm not going to sit here and spend an hour trying to explain it all. But people should have went to jail for it. Now, occasionally, you'll get an independent lone wolf out there who didn't pay off the right politicians. They'll steal money from you, like Bernie Madoff, and they'll catch him and they'll throw him in jail, but you still lose all your money. I'll tell you, everything is too good to be true. Don't invest in anything. Stock market. Stock market is nothing but a scam. I mean, think about it. If you were to do a private stock market, you and me, okay, you say, hey, Rob, I've got this new business idea and I need some money. I'd like for you to invest in it. And we could be 50-50 or 50-25. I mean, you see that on that TV show Shark Tank. They're investing. They're becoming partners. And that's a private partnership. It's an investment. Well, if the business doesn't do good, the investor who was trusting the person to take the business off loses all their money. That's what's so strange about investments. Everything's a gamble, but we have this expectation that we're going to get rich from it. I just don't have that expectation. This is my wealth. Now, if something bad were to happen, I could trade this. Now, a lot of people will say, no. You want gold. That's going to be the thing we need. Well, first, gold in a normal society is always at risk. It fluctuates with the market. It tends to go up, but it does fluctuate based on the value of cash. That's what's so crazy about it. It used to be the gold standard, now it's the cash standard. So we buy gold with cash. As inflation rises and things and all things go crazy, it goes up and down. My problem with gold is you buy it from a broker and they want 10%. So let's say you buy I don't know what's worth, I'm just going to use easy round numbers. Let's say it's $1,000 an ounce. So you buy 1 ounce for $1,000. Well, they want 10%. So now you're going to pay $1,100. So now you have this gold piece that's worth $1,000 that you paid $1,100 for. It's already lost value. So now you have to wait around for it to come up to $1,100. You hope it don't crash, but that's what you hope for. But let's just say all of a sudden you need cash right now. Something happens, so you turn that gold in, well, you just lost $100. It's, I guess, okay if you just want to invest it for long-term investments as part of your investment portfolio. But like I said, this is my investment portfolio right here. This will always be here for me. I mean, somebody could steal it, but that security is on me. That's my problem. I got to take care of that. But it's always here for me. And so I will always have heat. I always have comfort. And then, of course, if the depression hits again, they outlawed gold. And you could only have a small amount of gold. Maybe your wedding ring or necklace or something, but that's all you could have. The rest of it, I guess you had to turn over. And I'm not even sure they paid you for it. I don't think they did. I think you just had to turn it over. A lot of people buried it, don't get me wrong. Then they took our money off the gold standard. So now money is just the value we put into it. So I say this is $1, this is $1 and it's worth something. Well, I don't know what it's worth, but this is worth something. This is worth, maybe an hour's worth of heat, this one log here. So that has value. That has a time frame to attach to it, and it never changes. That value never changes. It took so much labor to put it into this state, cutting down the tree, splitting it, putting it here. So all that had value, and it maintains its value for the rest of its time. So if I burn it today, it's going to be the same as if I burned it 15 years from now, as my retirement plan. Whereas with money and gold and all that, you may lose it. There are all kinds of crazy schemes out there people lose money on, just like this financial institution I'm going to tell you about. Now, another one is food. I'm not big on stockpiling food. Some people are, that's fine. We have 400 jars of canned food. Now, that's not stockpile. That's just food that we canned up through our pressure canner, whether it's preserving our chickens that we butchered or we found a sale at the store and we wanted to grab that sale. You remember, think about that. So let's say chicken back then, which I can actually use real numbers. Last spring, chicken was $4.90 for 10-pound bag. Well, today, it's $10.90 for that same bag. So if I bought it back then and I canned it and preserved it, I just saved myself $5. So when you go and invest in things that hold its value forever, you don't have to rely on cash. That chicken will sustain me a year from now as much as it sustains me today. It has the same value. So I don't trust much except what I can make and what has value to me. If you were to come up to me and say, I want to trade you gold for your food, I would say, no, gold has no value to me. So people will get on my comment section, oh no, gold's so important, you got to have gold, it's important. But if I don't take your gold and you need food, I got food, you got gold, and you say, here's my gold, I need some food. I'm going to say, no, I don't want your gold. What are you going to do? Force me to take your gold? I mean, some of these people are so passionate about gold that they just won't give up the idea that I'm not going to take your gold. I'd rather have the food more than the gold. So no, I'm not going to give you my food for your gold. Now, if you had something of value for my food. Maybe we could trade something if you had something that I needed, like let's say I didn't have firewood, or I was running low on firewood and I had a bunch of food that I could give you. Now that's a trade. Okay, yeah, I'll give you my food for some of your firewood. That's a good trade. Maybe I'm old and I can't cut my own anymore. So things that have value to the person who wants to take that. Right now, cash has value because everybody's willing to take it. So if I go to the store and I give them cash, they'll give me some food. But at some point, the cash is not going to have any value because we just keep going up in inflation. So years ago, I had a friend who I trusted, and I thought he was pretty smart too, told me to invest in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, it's the wave of the future. And it can't be traced. The governments can't get involved, and it can't be taxed. And they just went on about how great it is. And still yet to like last year, people were telling me in the comment section, oh, it's great. Got to buy it. Got to buy it. Well, apparently it's very corrupt, and it went broke. They just filed bankruptcy. The guy who runs the thing is hiding out in the Bahamas. He's the second largest donor to the Democrat Party, I think. $36 million, I think, is what he invested. He's never going to be brought up on charges. So all these people who invested in cryptocurrency has lost their money. Again, another scam. Something that you were trusting someone else to take care of you with. This was supposed to be your investment. So you traded what you thought had value, $1, for something else that had value, that you thought actually had more value, because they lied to you, they scammed you. And you invested in it, and then it went up in price, and you're like, man, I'm rich, and now I can make secret purchases and nobody will know about it. All the while, this guy is just spending money out like a fire hose, just blowing it out. Gives $36 million to politicians. Well, one politician was interviewed today, a few days ago, when you see this video, and they said, what are you gonna give the money back that he donated to your campaign? She said, no. We have no idea where this money comes from. How are we responsible for his criminal activity? So this politician doesn't care that millions or hundreds or whatever people just got taken for a ride, and she owns their money now. She has their money. This has value to me for the rest of my life. Cryptocurrency has no value. Cash has no value. I mean, it has a little value because it gives me insurance for my truck. Living here is my value, but you have to put yourself in a mindset, and I don't know if I had to, it was who I am, it's who I wanted to be, that this makes you rich. So if you'll click this up next box to take to a video where I was talking about inflation, so I hope I can inspire you to find your happiness without everybody's help. Thanks for watching.